Greetings. Today, I invite you on a journey into my world. This is not a project, it's an experience. And I'm going to start with a libation. I am the dreams of my ancestors. I honor them for paving the way and showing up as the standard bearers of civilization. And to quote the book, Farming While Black by Leah Penniman, to my ancestral grandmothers who braided seeds in their hair before being forced to board transatlantic slave ships, believing against the odds in a future of sovereignty on land. The ancestors' resilient active agency helped to seed the nation's food system. Because of them, I am Ubuntu. Greetings, my name is Lena Boswell, and I'm an activist, farmer, artist, musician, and I love Black people. I have traveled the country breaking bread and strategizing with the most brilliant Black people on the planet. Together, we've created a new narrative, a new language and focus, which is Black food and land sovereignty. My work is lovingly informed by Black genius. As I unlearn and relearn, I will fight, hence the fatigues, to challenge the dominant narrative of lack and limitation wherever I find it. This journey includes generating ideas around the creation of a community wellness initiative called the Soil to Soul Food Web, cultivating the community to grow into their purpose. It literally starts with a seed of inspiration and the curation of a new Black and green renaissance. And here's the story of the Black seed. And I think my panelists over there have the seeds. Now, when you look at that seed, it doesn't look like much, right? Just a mere speck. You might even think, how insignificant. Now, what you don't see is the potential and possibilities of what that seed has to offer. What this Black seed needs is the right conditions, environment, and nature to grow. Sunlight, water, darkness activate the soul of the seed to become what it is. It already knows what it is deep within. It doesn't want to become anything else but itself. At the appointed time, it breaks the shell, becomes completely undone, sprouts and reaches toward the light. It will go through trials that will make it stronger. Left to mature, it will bear fruit that will bear seeds to continue the legacy. We are seeds. Given the right environment, we too can have our own breakthrough and spring forth to give the world our gifts. There is something inherent within all of us that only we can give to the planet. This is why place and environment matters in nature and in our communities. As I see it, we have two major challenges in the Huff community where I live. The life expectancy is 25 years less than the life expectancy of our suburban neighbors in Lyndhurst, which is only 8 miles away. Also, 80% of people live in cities, and yet only 2% of our food is grown locally where they live. So how were Black communities cultivated to experience such poor results in health outcomes and mortality? Consider this quote from Farming While Black. Racism is built into the DNA of the U.S. food system, beginning with the genocidal land theft from indigenous people, continuing with the kidnapping of our ancestors from the shores of West Africa. Forced agricultural labor, morphing into convict leasing, migrant worker programs, and maturing into its current state where farm management is among the whitest professions. Farm labor is predominantly brown and exploited, and people of color disproportionately live in food apartheid neighborhoods and suffer from diet-related illness. This system is built on stolen land, stolen labor, and needs of redesign. We must recognize that the land and food have been used as a weapon to keep Black people oppressed, and recognize also that land and food are essential to liberation for Black people. He who controls the food controls the people. The Soil to Soul Food Web offers a remedy. PLANT is the acronym, and it stands for People, Land, Access, Nutrition, and Transformation. Soil to Soul elevates the contributions of African indigenous agricultural scholarship over thousands of years. This plan inspires us to reclaim our rightful place of dignified agency in the food system. It is a comprehensive plan for creating a culture of wellness based on the Blue Zone Project. It includes building a workforce to assist with the demands of local production on our farms and gardens, and producing a value-added product while cultivating our communities as their own economic engine. We are planning an aggregation upscale of gardens and farms, increasing access to local grown produce, supporting local growers and reducing dependence upon charity food rescue models, a youth summer employment program, and partnership with Youth Opportunities Unlimited, an adult community service workforce partnering with the Court Community Service Program, offering an honorable community service experience as opposed to being shamed on the highway in a neon jacket picking up trash. Last but certainly not least, we support opportunities for Black joy and community engagement, which is a necessary element of healing our trauma-based experiences. We will produce the first Black to the Land Natural Living Festival, where we share skills and support thriving while Black. Please keep in mind that the healing of our beautiful Black community does not have a deadline or expiration date. This work is ongoing. We are sowing seeds, new seeds of sovereignty. The ancestors say you don't harvest the same day you plant. Owning our own land, growing our own food, educating our own youth, participating in our own health care and justice systems is a source of real power and dignity. While the land was the scene of the crime, she was never the criminal. And that's from Farming While Black. There is no culture without agriculture. Karen Washington of Black Urban Growers says, our power is in the soil, the land, the earth. Our skin hues are a testament to our belonging. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Lena. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
So I guess to start, how will we know that your transformation proposition is wanted in your community? How do you know people want to grow food where they live?
Well, it's a growing trend. I've been all over the country fellowshipping with people who understand that we must be in control of our food systems. And I've also created food systems in my neighborhood. And I am a firm believer that if you build it, they will come. And, sometimes the communities really kind of don't know what they need, because our communities are under siege. They're suffering from trauma. And at this point, they kind of really don't know what is out there for them. So we give them hope by building these food systems and sharing the food, and then they come on board.
So how does this proposal in particular build on other food system efforts already taking place here in Cleveland?
Well, it supports those efforts. It's another piece to the puzzle. I'm a firm believer in local food. Local food doesn't have to travel much as opposed to the food that comes from all over the country, about 1,500 miles away. The quality of that food is not as good as the food that can be grown right around the corner. And we literally, in our communities, can have food systems right around the corner from where the people live.
So how will you know that you have succeeded in this effort?
Well, I think what we want to measure is we want to measure the health outcomes. We know that people are dying by the forkful. Much of their food that they're eating is a lot of junk food. There's an inundation of a lot of junk food and fast food restaurants in the community. And we want to offer something a bit different because we know, the studies show that eating healthy food grown locally with high nutrition helps to reverse a lot of the diseases. I work in a hospital, and you'd be surprised what kind of food the people order through the service that we provide. It's astronomical, but I would tell you that probably most of those people are in there because of the food choices they make. So I'm sure, the studies show that eating healthy changes health outcomes. And so this is what I look forward to.
Very good. What do you say to people who might be skeptical about whether your vision will make a difference or the capacity to do it in Cleveland where our weather isn't always great?
Well, I've been doing this for a long time. We grew up pretty much off the radar in our communities. Our communities, because I grew up in the 50s. And so we were known for having beautifully manicured lawn in the front, and the party was in the backyard, where the collard greens and the tomatoes and the peppers were. So again, we're off the radar. We didn't do this for accolades. We did this for survival and to supplement, our food system. And, I think that people are returning to that. In the time of COVID, it was hard for me to even get seeds as a farmer. Yeah. And that scared me. That really scared me. I called several companies and they said, we're not even taking orders, because they were giving the seeds to the commercial growers, who really, don't feed the people, and I even found out that a lot of the food that they were growing, they had to plow under because they couldn't sell it because of COVID. So switching to a more local system, to me, is the answer, because we have better control over that.
Yep, definitely. Okay. So who are your partners and what is motivating them to engage in this work?
My partners are who I talked about. They're community partners who are already in the food space, who are already growing food. And so we have decided that we want to come together to build upon our partnership and our relationship to see just how well we can feed the people. I have an idea that each ward can be its own economic engine. And each ward could really, because we have vacant land. When I first started this 12 years ago, we had over 3,300 acres of land, vacant land in the community. I am sure that that has increased at this point. I don't know exactly what the percentage is, but I know for a fact it's increased. On my street alone, I think there are probably at least 10 lots that we could take over and grow food on. So, it's making better use of that land and offering the people a food source.
Great. Well, wonderful job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.